Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Somebody give me a sound check. Let me guys know if you guys hear me okay. I am broadcasting from a very rickety place in Marais district of Paris. It holds up. If my rickety dink one single screen, my single screen laptop works and my crappy little mic and video works. I'm doing a stand-up. I'm standing at my desk because I think that's kind of gives me a better view here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Somebody give me a sound check. Gaten, how are you? Do you guys hear me? Do you guys see me? Give me a full count. Visuals are okay. Sound is okay. I have a huge amount of stuff to tell you today. Cheryl, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're going to try and trade today, and we're going to try and trade tomorrow. It's 3:30 in the afternoon here in Paris. It's a lot of fun. You're going to hear sirens because nothing ever changes in my life. Even though I'm in Paris, the sirens are literally right outside the street. The only difference is I'm on the fourth floor versus being the 11th floor, but the sirens are screeching all day long because I'm pretty close. I'm actually pretty much really near the center of Paris. On Rue d'Ours, right next to Centre Pompidou. Hi, Muhammad. How are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning. I have such a cool thing to show you. So, yes, because I am an insane person, I actually spent 2 all-nighters, like 20 hours of straight-up coding over the last couple of days. Even though, we're all supposed to be on vacation and the girls have been going out, and drive me crazy with the museums, I redid the whole BFF code, and today I'm going to demo this whole code. Now I'm going to record a 4K super sharp explanation of this when I'm back in New York and I have all my equipment and everything is going on. But I wanted to, this code is available to you. I updated this. As you can see, the code now says BF multi-strategy. And it's amazing. It's really, really cool. I've been trading with it, all morning long. I actually, while you guys were, I think when I left you guys on Thursday, on that day, I actually managed to hit the 100. I broke the 150, and I funded that. So now I'm just basically trading the 150 funded. And and I had a huge roller coaster ride today on that account. I went down to 149 and came back up. I caught the massive 100-point candle, which really, really helped me recover a lot. When China said that they were willing to talk, I mean, there's really a lot of interesting news that's going on over there, and we can talk about that. But before we talk about anything else, we got like 4 minutes. I'm gonna just give you a very quick preview of how cool this new algo is. So what it is as far as multi-strategies. I've basically captured everything: trend, turn, and BF shift, all in separate little categories. And everything now is configurable, including the size of the labels, including the amount of signals you want to see, and everything is super easy to alert. I'll show you how everything is done. So first of all, I put trend and BFF trend into like one little category, one little drop-down category, and the counter trend stuff in the other. And my recommendation, this is obviously strictly my own personal view, is that for trend, I want to use BFF trend, and for counter trend signals, I want to use turn signals. So what I've just simply done in my, and then, I'm not going to trade swing, so I just left shift alone. So what I did as far as my alerts go is I set up, let me show you the alerts. I set up something like, what is that? 12 alerts. There's 12 alerts because there's a buy and sell for trend. There's a buy and sell for, there's a buy and sell for BFF trend. There's a buy and sell for turn counter trend, and it goes for ES, NQ, and GC and gold, right? So there's 3 instruments that I'm trading, and I have 4 different ways to trade them. And I've set all the alerts, and you're going to see the alerts start popping up. Now, the very cool thing about the alert that I just want to tell you is everything is pre-written for you. If you go over here into the alert section and you go add alert, and you simply choose turn trend buy signal. Let's say we're going to use actually turn counter trend. No, sorry. Turn counter buy signal. I already have this one, but this is what I use for my counter, right? If you simply click create, it will create everything. The name of the symbol, it will tell you that it's a turn counter trend buy signal. All of it will pop up automatically for you. You don't have to do anything. The only thing you need to do is simply say once per bar. But what I do is I create all of them, like I create all 12 at once, and then I go into the edit function and I just simply edit every one of them at once per bar. And then you're really, really ready to go. I'll put all of that in the video when you're ready to go. But it's super interesting. We're gonna hopefully have some alerts pop up. As a matter of fact, I had an alert just a minute ago. As you can see, this was a BFF trend alert. And by the way, you see how cool it is? Every single alert now has its own little table, and it tells you the key information about the table that you need to know. Oh, I guess we're opening up, right? Market opening up, big jump candle. So we'll see if we get any kind of a signal here. And sort of like, just one other function that you guys may be interested in is that, I still left the ability for you to simply scalp the dots with stops and targets in those as well. So it's just like an enormous amount of stuff here that's super cool. It's really cool. Oh, just I know the one thing there, but everybody wanted me to do with these things is adjustable sizes. So if I wanted to adjust the size of this label, I'm keeping it at this size. I don't care if you guys think it's too small. I just need it right now for my thing. But if I wanted to go to normal size on a table on the label and just say okay, you'll see that it's going to go to normal in just 1 second. As soon as it just takes a long time to load here. And you see how, you see how this went to bigger size, right? You see how the labels, actually, I'll leave it here for that big size for you guys so you guys can see it a little bit better. So everything is adjustable here. The colors are adjustable. You can do whatever you want with this thing. There's literally 100 different ways to permutate it. It took a long time to kind of code it and debug it, but now it works really well. And all we're going to do all day long is just wait for signals to come in, and whatever signal comes in, we're going to try and take it. I've configured it so that for trend signals, it's going to give me the BFF trend signals, and for counter trend signals, it's going to give me the turn counter trend signals in gold, in S&P, and in Nasdaq, and then we'll trade that. Now, I've been trading it essentially sort of like one unit. In other words, I use the stop and I go to first target. I don't do 2 units right now, but of course you can do 2 units. You can do whatever you want. It's fully configurable. So it's really nice. And you can even see that you have the second target has a different color label, like a little bit brighter label, and you can make it even brighter, or you can even make it a completely different color. All that is totally configurable over here. So you can go like over here into the settings wheel. And everything is really nicely organized. So you have like the main settings, which is, which strategy, and then the moving averages, then what targets and stops you want to use. So like, if you want to use larger multiple on the first target, you can use larger multiples if you want to. What is the configuration for turn? For me, it's 3 dots. That's my default configuration. How many, maximum trades, how many maximum signals we're going to get in each trend cycle? That's just 1 for me. That's what I keep it. The configurations for trend shift settings, and then all the cosmetic stuff. So this is, for example, target 2 color, just to show you what if I wanted to make this color, I don't know, blue like this, and say okay. If I said okay, you can see the color turns blue, right? Really cool. I mean, it's just a super functional, super great looking structure. And even though we're trading 150 and I have ample size, we're going to trade micros all day long, any day. I'm going to explain to you why, because this is the way I got myself funded. This is the way I funded also, like, I think three or four, no, like four 50,000s and a couple of wealth charts accounts. And by the way, those of you guys who are on wealth charts and you're like, hey, what am I, chopped liver? You are not chopped liver, my friends. You are very, very much part of the BK family. And it's just that I didn't want to bother Rob until I was literally 99.9% happy with the code, because he's just been a trooper, and just, nobody makes him just rewrite this shit more than I do. So I didn't want to have him, it's a lot of resources for him to have to rewrite everything into wealth charts and then, distribute it on wealth charts. So I think we're probably going to work on this code just maybe this whole week. I know you guys are eager and salivating to get this on wealth charts, but I just want to make sure it's really, really good. So in the meantime, you can always see on TradingView, like I said. Okay, so here we go. Here's an alert on trend signal buy, right? Let's go into the alert section. So let's go into the log. We have MGC trend signal buy. I'm going to click this thing in here into MGC. It's going to take a second to load as usual, because this just takes forever to load, especially on the open. And what do we have here? This was, and I guess this was a trend signal buy, and the alert went away. Remember, it's going to trigger the alert, but if it doesn't stay, if it doesn't close on the candle, it's not going to stay here. So we'll stay with this candle right now, because it gave us that warning that there's a potential alert here. And if it doesn't come in, we'll leave it alone. We'll just watch it. We'll see if we'll see if it comes in here. So we're in trend mode, but not holding. So 24 seconds looks like gold is really starting to peter out a little bit here at the 330 level, and I'm not surprised if it's going to start turning around and coming down. There's a lot of potential here for cowboy trades, and I'm happy to fool around with cowboy trades with you maybe tomorrow. But today I just want to take by cowboy trades I mean just taking scalps off the red dots, green dots like we do. But right now I just want to stick to signals and alerts as far as they go. So okay, nothing done on this alert because gold did not do anything. I don't want to tell you. I was losing my mind. Oh, so wealth charts. So we're gonna just work on this code a little bit more just to see if I need to do anything more updatable. In the meantime, you guys are all, of course, have access to the TradingView version of this. Use that, and then we're gonna code all of this into wealth charts, and we're gonna trade wealth charts when I come back. So it's gonna be really, really cool. I'm very excited to be able to have both products available to everybody. One thing I wanted to mention, while we're kind of staring at the screens here is, let me take you over here, is please, guys, Apex just went to 80% off, I think, before the end of this week. Go out there, get some Apex accounts. And of course, those are going to work on wealth charts as well. So whatever you want, whether you want the wealth charts or the regular TradeAvate accounts, go out there, get it. I put the link in there. Make it good. Yes, David, we started now. What are wealth charts? Wealth charts is a kind of a competitor to TradingView. They're a great trading platform, but they're also fully integrated into Apex. So it's really, really great. Like, if you want to trade Apex, which is what we do here in the morning, it's a great choice to trade with, especially because everything that I show you, all of the functionality that we have on these on the indicators, which is what makes us all the money, is going to the exact same functionality is going to be available on wealth charts. Hopefully next week when I come back and I can get Rob to put it in there. In the meantime, we are going down a little bit. Let's just take a look here. Oops, sorry. Where am I? Take this off. No signals right now. Take this off here. Wait for the next signal to pop up. We can fool around if you want to. So one thing that you guys will love, I'm sure, is if you want to not do any of the strategies, right? And you just want to scalp like a maniac, there is a, where is this function? Okay, show stop and target lines for dots only. So this is essentially the scalp condition, right? So I'm going to do this over here, and let's make sure this is doing it though. Oh, is this version not doing this? What happened here? It should be showing it. Okay, I think I may have a little bit of a bug. This is why we tested, because it was working in all the prior versions. So maybe when I adjusted all of this stuff, it didn't work. All right, we will deal with this as it goes along. Let me see if this. Yeah. All right. For some reason, it's not. Huh. Okay. That functionality is going to have to be turned back on. We'll work on that. Um, oops, sorry. So we are in trend right now. What's going on here? Oh, this is a downtrend. Yeah. Um, and I'm just waiting to see, if we get any kind of signals coming up. We can also fool around and uh, just trade dots manually if you want to, which we can do that in a minute. But right now, I kind of just want to see if I can get any signals coming up uh, from the charts. There's no signal somewhere in the Rockies right now. I'm just signal-less. I'm basically waiting for a signal because the last signal that we had was the gold signal that just did not hold. It simply did not hold as a signal. So right now we're in trend mode, BFF trend mode. But we can also take a look at the counter trend mode, which is my favorite counter trend mode is the turn counter trend mode. We can look at that and see what happens there. And you see like this was a turn counter trend signal in was this S&P, right? That was right here, right before the market opened up, and that was a really really nice signal here that hit. Actually, you know what? Hang on a second. Let me make sure that I have this. Oh, I don't have we don't have the counter trend signals set up. Okay, let's set this up. This is a good way of getting this set up. So we are in S&P. Show you the alert. It's very very simple. This is a no, this is not. Just want to show you. This is a turn counter trend signal, right? So what I'm going to go into is the alerts. Add alert. I'm going to go turn counter trend buy signal once per bar, create, and then I'm going to do turn add alert, turn counter trend sell signal once per bar, and now both of those are on the books for the S&P in the on the alerts box. Okay. Here's the log. Here's all the signals that I have. And you see how it sets up automatically with a ticker and everything else? It's really, really nice. So we're still negative trend. The short term is below the long term. And we're still looking essentially for, we might get a trend signal here. Let's see if we get a, if we go into trend mode. Oh, look at this. Look how good this is. Why is this not going to trend mode? Because the slope is rising. You see how the slope is green, not red. So it's not a signal for us. See, it's so so valuable now because it tells you all the information you need to know as to what's going on internally with the indicator. Really, really useful. I hope you guys like it. This is a paid indicator, Jamie. It's only $75 for the beginner bundle, and more if you want like the full private sessions with me and stuff like that. Everybody should, let me put a join link in the thing. You can just join our community for free, and from there you can literally buy it within the community if you want to. Yeah, it's really helpful, right? Nathan, Nathan says that's a really helpful reminder. Yeah, I hope you guys like it. I did not come up with that. The AI came up with that. I was not that smart on the UI. Why don't I? This is a great question. David is asking, why don't you create a algo bot based upon the indicator? It means which buys and sells positions automatically without my intervention, or even while you sleep. Because that's a sure way to lose all your money, David. You have to select. You have to be cautious. Not every trade wins, and when the trade doesn't win, we have a whole bunch of sizing options in front of us that we can use to make the next trade better. If it was that easy, if you could just simply create signals and automatically bot them, everybody would do it, and everybody would be a millionaire. I know everybody does it, but nobody ever makes any money out of it. Having done this for a very, very long time, I've come to absolutely certain conclusion that the easiest way to kind of destroy your structure is to have an automated bot all the time. You can trade a bot once. You can put something, press a button, and it will trade once. And by the way, those of you who are MT4 inclined, first of all, just to let you know, Apex doesn't allow you to have bots, right? So if you want to trade prop, you're not going to be able to trade bots anyways. But secondly, if you're going to trade with me during the Asia session, I'm going to convert this into bots on MT5, and you'll be able to trade this on CFDs for sure, but not in a continuous manner, because that's the continuous way to get yourself completely destroyed. So yes, as I said, Galvin, this whole thing is going to be rewritten for wealth charts. So when we rewrite this for wealth charts, you will get it. Everybody who's got wealth charts, just wait until the end of the month. It'll be earlier than that, but wait until the end of the month to get the full and functional access. Because there's no point. I mean, there are old versions of this thing, but there's no point of you guys using the old versions of wealth charts right now. Use a Trading View. That's the one that's available to you. You can get Trading View is free for you if you use one indicator at a time. So just patience with me, because again, I don't want to have to everybody on wealth charts. I don't have to make you redo this stuff a million times. Like you see, for example, I just caught a little bit of a code error on the scalping mode in dots. Like I think that's the only code error that I have in here, but I got to go test that, and it's gonna have to go work on that. And we got to QA that. When I want to give it to Rob, it's going to be hopefully in almost a perfect mode, so we don't have to rewrite it anymore. Yep, it's not ready. Exactly. Just end of the month as a absolutely hardcore drop date. Yeah. My picture is covering the instrument. Well, figure it out, my friend, okay? Because there's no place else for me to figure it out. It's obvious that it's Nasdaq, okay? Um, just figure it out. Um, I told you guys I'm broadcasting out of Paris, and it's going to be very, very uh, low tech for all of us here. Um, okay, let's take a look at what's going on over here. Still, like very, very quiet as usual. You know, first half hour, we're not getting any kind of price action. We're really, really choppy. Anybody was anybody up um, for that massive ramp for China? Jeez, that was insane. That was like the right. By the way, the other thing I was going to tell you guys is prepare for this. It's not going to be nearly as fun. We're now going to go into a grind out churn mode. And if you're like in this mindset, oh, I'm going to catch the 100 point per minute candle and I'm going to make my bank in one single trade, you're not. You're going to have to go back to the old fashioned way that where we're trading like every single trade. Trade doesn't work out. We look for the next trade with larger size, small size. It only signals trading, just old fashioned block and tackling trading, because this is the period where everybody's going to lose all their money that they made in the last week and a half because it was so easy. You just pressed the button and you made $1,000 in a minute. That's not going to be the story now. We're going to go into massive churn now. Every trade is going to be a battle, and we're really going to have to just watch your size, watch your discipline as things evolve. You can see we opened up and we gave back everything that we opened up on, right? The market is completely uncertain as to what the hell is going on next. It looks like this morning, we'll have to see, but it looks like this morning China may have blinked a little bit, and Trump's craziness may have been enough to rattle even Z, because everybody's saying, that it's America is going to suffer, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But we're still the only market in the world that anybody wants to sell into, because we're still a $32 trillion market. Europeans are not going to be buying a bunch of stupid Chinese shit because they don't, they're just not, they don't have nearly as much purchasing power. I'm here in Europe. It's wonderful, but they spend all their money on croissants and cafe. They don't buy Temu. They don't buy bullshit trinkets from, what's the other one? Over there, they don't buy Amazon. They don't even have fucking Amazon delivery here. So China is just as fucked as the US at this point. And I have a feeling that, no matter what everybody says about Z not losing his face, they already blinked today and said, okay, let's, we need a central point of negotiation on this thing, which is just very much a symbol that they're ready to go. Meantime, though, markets are just still not happy. You still see we're breaking the pre-open move here. We could have, I wish I could, let me try this just one sec. Hang on a second. Just bear with me a sec. Do I want to sell this? Let me sell this just for shits and giggles. Again, I'm selling tiny, tiny little lots. And let me adjust this. And I want to sell. So my stop is going to be above here. My target will be like somewhere around here. Because I basically took the red dot sale. And the idea here is that we should have some momentum and some continuity, although you can see that my entry was really, really horrible. And you guys can just kind of watch this trade. And if this trade probably should have been done, if I did this properly, the trade would have been done pretty much at the entry of this trade. And it's mainly because I'm just kind of showing you a classic scalp with a dots thing. When I enable the dot scalping mode, this should automatically put the stop and a target on the chart. That's the one thing that's just missing right now from the structure. But let's see if I can just at least make it. All right, we'll just kill this right now for 13, just for a shits and giggles. Remember, we always want to trade momentum, and so that's a very nuanced condition. in the simplest, easiest way to trade momentum is when we trade it with trends. So red, and red, meaning we're the trend is negative and we get red dots. And this is assuming we don't have any strategy trades coming up, because we're sort of outside of our strategy bounds. Then we're going to take the cells in the when the moving average is below, and we're going to take the buys when the moving average is above. That's the easiest, most conditional momentum trades there are. However, there are times, especially let's say we've had like 8, 9 continuous dots to the downside, when counter momentum becomes a much more enticing trade, and the price starts to come back up. Then we start looking for green dots, and same idea, sort of trading a couple of dots with a stop, couple of dots back, short targets, try to see if we could get a reversal move going. The reversal trades are always less accurate, always harder to do, and always take a couple of more stops before you kind of get the reversal trade right. So just warning you ahead of time. You see, I'm trading this with very, very tiny sizes. 2 reasons. Number one, you don't need to do any more. You can, if you're scalping, you can do 20, 30 scalps a day. That's $200-$300 a day, maybe even $400 a day. If you're doing this properly with 1 or 2 micro lots on the Nasdaq. With the S&P, I'll trade 2 micro lots, which is like $10, $10 a trade. That's it. You don't really need to do much, because what that does is it gives you the opportunity, if you get stopped out, to go 2 lot. And if you get stopped out again, to go 4 lot, and you're still way, way, way under any of your risk limits, especially on a $150,000 account. So that's all I do. So now we're kind of developing a pretty strong trend here. You could try to follow, if this dot holds, you could try to follow this dot with a stop above the dot above. But if this doesn't become a dot, then it's not a trade. The whole idea is that the red dot or the green dot gives you some inkling of a forward momentum. And then you use a relatively wider stop. So the stop wouldn't be above this one, but above the one prior. And a relatively short target, and you can kind of just scalp out your position. So is this gonna work? Let's see. Nope, the dot didn't hold, so we didn't have a trade. Also remember, because I'm only working with one screen. It's very, very hard for me to time this properly. Because I have to switch, internally I have to switch screens. But you guys get the idea. You certainly can just simply dot trade for fun and profit until we get some signals coming in here. Right now, very few, no alerts. Alerts. See, there's not even any red alerts here. Red. If there was any fresh alerts, there'd be like a little red button over here, but there's nothing. I'm actually curious to see how's gold doing. Gold was the other great trade today. Gold was just a beautiful trade above the 3,300 to the upside. Gold now just simply, are we making fresh highs here? Is this a fresh high gold? Wow. Okay, let's have fun with gold. We're gonna wait for this trade complete. This is a very, very extended move, but still worth trading. See if we can get an extension on the move. Do I have a? I have an alert. We have an alert. Okay, so here's an alert on S&P trend buy. S&P counter trend buy. Sorry, counter trend buy. So we have to go into the counter trend mode. Sorry. See, the cool thing is, it's pretty easy. Like, see how easy it was for me to set that up, right? 23 seconds left. This the S&P showed me a counter trend buy. We're gonna wait until make sure this thing holds. I actually kind of like the 3 separate colors, not the one muted color. Maybe we'll keep it this way. And I'm gonna go long S&P now, and then adjust this. I'm gonna adjust it with you guys. So here's my stop over here, and here's my target over here. And let's see if we're going to make, if we can possibly make my target. I'm not holding my breath. This, the first turn trade rarely is the proper turn trade, but we'll give it a shot. If this doesn't work, we'll get larger on the next signal in the S&P. And occasionally you get like you have a counter trend signal, and then you get a trend signal in the same instrument, which is always the reason why you want to have like two accounts going at least. I think two accounts when you're trading micros, that's perfectly fine. You can do that, no problem. So yeah, I mean, this one almost certain is going to come and stop me out, but that's fine. I'll we'll reload on the next signal if it comes in. That was a big reversal and a comeback. Let me make sure that I'm not going to get clipped. I want to make sure that I give generally what I like to do is put myself right underneath the stop just to give myself that breathing room, because it doesn't matter if if it's 95 or 100. At that point, the difference in losses is minuscule, but the ability to maybe survive the loss if this actually doesn't hit the lows really gives you an interesting reversal trade. But I don't think it's going to reverse. It looks like it's going to completely pop. Yeah, selling flows coming right back into the market. So we'll wait for the next possible structure. So some of you may ask, like, what happens if I have a sell dot over here, but the prior high is lower and the prior high is lower? What you want to do is you want to go to the next highest one and put your stop over there. That's where I would put it into the move. Like right now, if I wanted to just simply trade this on a pure dot basis, so I just sold it again. I'm showing you all these trades because I'm doing very small structure. What I would do is I would put this over here, my stop over here, and my target's somewhere around here, and see if we can resolve this trade on a trade. How's Nasdaq doing? Generally, I like for these scalp trades, Nasdaq is a really good candidate. Let's do this on Nasdaq too. So we'll sell this on Nasdaq just to do a little scalp trade since we're not getting too many signals. So short Nasdaq, I'm going to go up against it over here as my stop. Just keep this at this buy stop over here. Let's see if this is going to work for us at all. All right, we'll take the little scalp on Nasdaq and we'll go to S&P. All right, we'll take that S&P 2 scalps. Remember I'm doing this off of two screens, so I don't have the luxury of getting the perfect exits. We'll just take the scalps as is, because we only got like one. We got one good label and one bad label entry right now. We're not getting too many alerts. We'll just have we can just scalp around, wait for signals. What time is it? Oh, it's 10:02. Any questions from you guys? When I put up more screens, I'm in Paris, my friend. I'm trading off a laptop, as I said from the beginning. No, I'm in Paris. Kathy is in Rome. We're both in Europe this week. So GFAS, there's a setting here that only keeps it for one trade. Oh, and then you want to do like a full expiry at the end of it. Um, that's interesting. The problem is that you don't know. I guess you could set it like to 25 candles default, and then after that it would just erase it. I guess you could do that. That's yeah. I guess you could do that, and then you won't have the if it goes forward, then there won't be old. Is that what you're saying? That's a good suggestion. I'll put that in there. See, this is why I don't want to do wealth charts because I want to take like all everybody's suggestions here and modify them. Okay. No, there's no way to do shortcuts, my friend. You kind of have to. The whole point is that these are the shortcuts. You press the button. I press a button with a kind of a wide 100 tick stop target, which is usually always outside of the parameters, and then I could just simply adjust my stops and targets visually. That's what I do. It makes it so much easier. That's the trick that makes it super easy. This is the latest version of Scalper, Wayne. I updated it. It's completely rewritten. It's completely redone. Still gonna go through a couple of more rewrites, but this is the new version that's gonna. And I will re-record a whole new introduction to this thing. It's not like there's different, radically different ideas. It's just completely redone differently in presentation and functionality. It has a lot more functionality. They're going to start next week. Although I'm really I'm playing around with like the spring session of VIP is going to start next week, but I'm playing around with what day of the week we should do it. I'm not sure yet. Okay, really, I'm not sure. I'll let you know, Neil. I'm thinking about it. Usually it was on Tuesday, but then I have Tuesday Asia trade. And so I'm kind of thinking that maybe we're going to do Tuesday, Wednesday Asia trade, and Thursday VIP. This way it becomes a little bit more peaceful. And also it's the end of the week, so it gives us a chance to do more review. I think we're probably going to go to that structure. Man, I've been eating so much you have no idea. That's a good idea, Rick. If you want to do that, that's a very good idea to use a risk size calculator. Oh, we have a. Let's take a look at what's going on in the charts here. So this is a like clean turn. Let's do this again. I'm gonna. This isn't a trade, but it's good enough for me to want to. Which one is this? Is this on the S&P? Okay, let's buy this. Let's buy this for shits and giggles. I want to show you something. So I'm long this thing. I'm going to use the old stop as my stop, and I'm going to use this target. I'm actually right on the target line. So let's see if I can reach the second target line. Because you see, very often the turn trade, the counter trend trade, kind of does. I've seen this so many times. It takes you out to the bullshit move, right? To like the one last stop out, and then it starts to really turn nicely into a trade. Now, sometimes it doesn't, so it doesn't mean that this is always going to work. But I love to take this this trade right now like this. The really proper way of doing it is to put the stop all the way to the lows, to the swing lows. And by the way, GFAS, this is like one of the reasons why keeping these labels on is not a bad idea. But I mean, I see what you're saying. Like we could say, 25 candles forward, because this is obviously only 4 or 5 candles forward. Just get rid of it on the chart if you don't want it. But you see how like now this is making that turn, making that big turn. We almost hit target, on the thing. Oh, and by the way, the other thing I was going to tell you. You see, the other thing that's so cool about this is the stop label also has the risk points in there. So this is basically 11 S&P risk points in this particular trade. If you're using the old swing structures. So this just gives you an idea of what the risk points are, and where the target points are, all predetermined for you. Excuse me. This was annoying. We literally missed it by half a point on the thing. Let's see if we can get a move here and hit the first target at least on the move. Guys, I'm kind of digging the stand-up desk. It makes me like a lot more energetic to watch the screen. Maybe I'll do a stand-up desk in New York. Then I'll look like a complete asshole on video, but what the hell? This is really going back on me. Too bad. We may have just missed this trade. We'll see. We'll have to be very patient. Let's see if the trading gods want to turn this around for us and hit the 36. Let me actually also look at the Nasdaq just to see what Nasdaq is trading wise. So Nasdaq kind of already hit its target. You see that? So no point me chasing this turn trade because Nasdaq went through the target. Had I chosen Nasdaq, I would have had the idea. You can see that the other thing that Dave was talking about, like I want to do an algorithm. The whole point is it's not an algorithm. It's a guide, not a recipe. That's the beauty of it. Where I'm in Paris. Everything here is improvisational art in some ways. Everybody makes something just tiny bit different to make it unique. And so can you using this indicator. Like this is this kind of variation of the trading theme is very, very interesting and very valuable for people who want to try and do it this way, right? I'm just sitting here trying to see if I could get the rally going. My S&P just missed, although my Nasdaq would have hit completely. And you can, and the beauty is, of course, having these anchor labels just gives you a very, very easy anchoring, visual anchoring of where you should be relative to risk and reward without thinking too much, right? I don't know about you guys, but I'm a very visual person, very instinctual person. I very much act and I react to what I see much more than I'm not a person who is deliberative, right? The deliberation is in the code. It's not that I can't think through problems and solve them. It's just that in the moment, I'm not one of those people who like fucking reads every line of a contract, right? I hate that. I will negotiate the contract up front and think through all the details and thinks of issues, but I really am not the type of person that likes to read every line of the contract and think about this, for 1,000 or like. When I go shopping, I just buy stuff. My wife will on a travel website, she'll spend 5 hours analyzing every permutation of the travel deal. It drives me nuts. I'm like, we like this. This looks good. Just get it. So if you guys are like that, the whole point is that the intelligence is built in. You don't have to waste your emotional and mental cycles on the intelligence. It's built in. You just have to, react to it. And obviously, the more you trade this, the more adroit you're going to be. You'll take some profits earlier. You obviously can trade with a little bit bigger size. I'm just trading small size. I will say this: trading small size did not hurt me at all in terms of hitting all my evaluations and passing all my tests and doing all this stuff. But what it did is it kept me out of getting blown out. So many people got blown out. Once, twice, three. I don't know how many resets you guys have had, but I'm sure you've had lots of resets over the last few days, simply because the price action was so crazy. I managed to have only one reset out of 10 evals passed, and that was just me, going. It's very funny. Whenever you trade well, I don't know if you guys have the same aspect. Whenever I trade well, I will then just get very sloppy and trade badly afterwards. Which is all the more reason why you want to do that on the eval when you're trading it. Fuck me, this thing is just gonna just tease me with a stop, and then come back down. Fuck, I hate this trade. All right, we will have to stay patient with this son of a bitch. It just missed me twice again on the targets. You see that? In the meantime, we have like no alerts because nothing is really happening. What's happening on the gold side? Yeah, gold is finally starting to turn down. Oh, gold had a turn trade. I don't know why this did not pop up on my thing. I think I have to check my alerts and make sure that all my alerts are set up properly. Why is my gold? Oh, maybe it was, and I just wasn't paying attention. Nope. We just had the BFF. I wonder why the gold did not set up. Interesting. So gold is reversing right here, but it's kind of late to chase this trade. The great trade would have been the second and the third red dot. I'm not gonna. It may work, and it's not a horrible trade to do this, but I'm just not. I'm not going to chase it into the bottom on this point. I don't know why this did not trigger. What's going on? Let's go to look at my alerts. What do we have on gold? Oh, I know why it didn't trigger, because I don't have gold as a counter trend signal. Okay, let's set this up. Let me show you how simple it is to set this up. So if I go in here, oh, do we hear the siren? Do we hear the siren? I'm 100%. I told you, whether it's Paris or New York, we're going to hear sirens. You hear how obnoxious the European sirens are? That's an ambulance, by the way. That's a ambulance, hardcore ambulance. All right, let's set up the alert here. We want count it. We want the turn counter. You know what? I got to reorganize the alerts too. That's another thing. I want to reorganize these things not by strategy, but by style, because we have it organized by trend style and counter trend style. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to reorganize these things. That's another thing that I'm going to do. So turn counter, sell once per bar. That's set up, and then we're going to set up another one. Add alert. Come on. Add alert. And we're going to go counter buy signal once per bar. Boom. And that's as simple as that. That's how easy it is to kind of set this up, and make it play. My S&P is totally getting destroyed. Unfortunately, that trade teased me to profit, missed me by half a point, and now it's probably going to go against me. But that is why I trade small. So no harm, no foul on this one, or at least very little foul. Still plenty of time for us to do stuff. Now that I set that up, let me see what else I'm missing as far as my alerts, and let's see if maybe we're going to get a couple more alerts to go. So we have counter trend, trend, buy trend. So counter trend in the S&P, buy in gold, buy in gold, turn counter. Double these alerts so we can get rid of this. MNQ counters. Okay. I mean, these are all set up. We just have to find ideas for them. So we're negative trend, right? This is interesting, though. You see, we're negative trend, but the slope is rising, which means this gives, interesting. Looking at this gives us interesting clues to possibly, like if we get a green dot, we kind of want to take that because it means, it's a counter trend rally. With a rising slope, telegraphs ahead of time that prices are actually going to are more skewed to the upside than to the downside. So if we get any momentum evidence of that, sorry, if anything, like I don't even know how that's possible. My allergies are worse in Paris than they are in New York. It's just been ridiculous. Oh, all right, nothing going on here on the gold side, so we'll just see. Let me see if there's any comments. Thank you. No, Anil, when you buy a TradeAvate account from Apex, and this is why I'm giving you the Apex discount, the really, really great thing about Apex is for that measly 30, 40 bucks for a $50,000 account. Not only do you get the account, but you get real-time data for free. So it fully integrates with TradingView. That's actually a super valuable benefit that we all take for granted. I haven't even thought about it, but it's basically $30 to get a real-time feed, and Apex pays it for you. So it's another great reason to want to trade prop. Thank you, Tom. All right, so we are just chilling like a villain. All right, the SMA finally started to get a little bit negative, so we don't really have any kind of a green dot move. Where's the gold? The big stories today is gold to the upside. And equities first to the downside, then to the upside. So what other suggestions do you guys have? Like the good suggestion was to get rid of these things after user defined amount of time. So we have a red dot in gold, falling SMA. I like this trade. Got about 59, 58 seconds here. Let's see what it wants to do. Meantime, look at our friend S&P trying to muster up a little bit of a move here. What about Nasdaq? Was S&P giving us a no? Nasdaq is a 31 seconds left with a green dot rising SMA. We got to go for it. We're gonna try and give it a shot. If this thing holds, let's see if the green dot holds. It's cool to have all this information at your fingertips, right? It's really, really nice to basically have all this analytics, so you could hopefully make an interesting decision when you're trading. 3, 2, 1, buy. All right, so we're long NAS. The stop's going to be obviously underneath the green dot, and we'll put this over here. We'll just put a little bit of a short target. Let's see if we can make the target. Here, I'll move this around so you guys can actually see the structure a little bit. So this is not, we don't have any labels on this thing. And by the way, in dot mode, you will have labels. It's just that I need to fix the dot mode, and I need to create this whole, erase the labels after X amount of candles function, which is a really, really good function. Anything else you guys want to suggest to me? Do so now or forever hold your peace. $608. Let's see if we can get it up there to 608. Let's see, get a little bit of a rally. Made a low. Buyers absorbed all those bids. Let's see if they can just push it a little bit higher. Sentiment has been so horrible. We're down 193. What's today? Today is Wednesday, right? Like usually it's turnaround Tuesday, but it could be turnaround Wednesday. This especially, the vulnerable to an upside move if the Chinese, like, everybody at this point thinks Trump is just out of his fucking mind, right? And nobody thinks, nobody even on the right, thinks that any of this stuff is viable. Anybody who's a businessman thinks this is crazy, that we've just basically created a self-inflicted wound and so on and so forth. And I fully understand that point of view. That's the conventional point of view. But the kind of like thin ray of hope, the little ray of sunshine, is that he's so fucking crazy that he's crazy like a fox. And he's crazy enough to have scared Z into actually, negotiating a deal, because as much of a destruction he's causing to the U.S. economy, he's causing even twice that much to the Chinese economy. Only 20% of Chinese college graduates can find a job now. Z is going to be looking at like 500 million people that are wholly unsatisfied with their life because they can't get enough economic activity to satisfy all that productivity, because nobody's going to buy their shit. I told you, the Europeans are just not going to buy all the Chinese trinkets. Only Americans buy Chinese trinkets. So I'm looking at this trade here. So the other thing, you could just simply hit sell limit, but it's all done. That trade gets done. Where am I on my S&P? You know what I'm going to do? This is going to hit my target, but because this pain in the ass had literally took me for almost a full round trip. Oh, what happened here? Oh, sorry. I took myself out. I hit the wrong thing. So we survived this trade. Okay, we survived this trade, both trades. I mean, I cannot fucking believe we survived that little reversal. But you get the idea. There is a method to the madness. Maybe it's kind of like Trump's method to the madness, that you gotta respect the swing highs, swing lows. We held those swing highs, swing lows all the way down. After that, they couldn't break them. You knew they were going to take them back up. So the trade actually worked on the second time around. And a lot of the inputs that are in the indicator, like rising SMA, all of that kind of tangential information really helps you to have confidence in taking the dot trades when they come in. Tomorrow, hopefully, I will have fixed the whole dot trade label thing, and you'll actually see the labels instead of me kind of winging it a little bit. But overall, I mean, you like literally, we only had one trade where I got clipped today, right? Just one trade where I got clipped. Everything else worked, and and I'm up. Like not a lot up, but I'm up. I think I started this at around 700, and I'm up. I'm around, where am I? At 789. Okay, not horrible. I'm certainly up on my 150 account today, which is great. This is just one day's worth of work today. Pretty much trading all micros. So the more you practice, the more comfortable you get with the indicator, the more you use all of its nuanced information to your advantage, the less stupid trades you're going to make, and the less stupid trades you're going to make, the more money you're going to make. There's just only one rule here: trade small, so that the stupid trades don't cost you a lot of money. Learn from the various permutations of what's working, and I'll certainly chime in, and take signals only as much as you can. And if you can do all those things, it is amazing how well you can do. I posted today like at 2:00 in the morning to New York time, which was like 5, and I was up at 5 in the morning Paris. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I'm always going to be up at 5 in the morning, which is actually a lot of fun. I got to tell you, is it fun to trade from Europe in terms of Asia, because there's a lot of stuff happening. And if I wasn't up in Europe, I would have never caught that 500, that massive 100-point candle, which made my day today. But I tweeted today. I don't know if I can share this with you. Hang on, let me find it, and then I'll share it with you. Oh man. Okay, yeah, I'll show this to you. A lot of people really like this. Let me share this tab instead. So you see what I said? I said this just came to me, and it was really, really true. Trading is not about winning money. It's about winning the process. Using the indicator, having that tool set, trading small, trading on Apex, where obviously your downside risk is defined and your upside risk is lifetime, right? If you're trading well, you can just get paid out on the same account over and over and over again. it is about winning that process. That's what, hopefully live trading is all about. It's about helping you find your own process and focusing on that. That's why it's never about winning money. Winning money is an incidental aspect of winning the process. You can do that, you'll always win money. And if you can't do that, ultimately you'll never win money. That's the sort of the thought I had for the day. I hope you guys like that thought. I hope you agree with it. And it's fun. Am I not on the spring break now? Yes, Tom. I'm on the spring break now. Exactly. The girls are shopping at Printemps, which is a fate worse than death for me. I'd rather have my brains, blown out. I'd rather have a root canal without Novocaine than have to go shop. So, today and tomorrow they go to Disneyland, which is like the second greatest torture of my life. So I'm happy to let them do their freaking thing, and I'm happy to trade with you guys. Oh, look! I'm digging the stand-up desk, guys. Looks good on the video, right? And I really have like good energy. I mean, I'm actually reading my trades better because I'm not sitting on my ass. Now I finally fucking understand why people like stand-up desks. Wow. You'd be laughing because what I'm doing here is that there's like a breakfast, high-end bar table in this tiny little French apartment. That's what I'm operating from, but I'm calling it my stand-up desk. Disney is definitely the most expensive day ever. But fuck it, my wife is taking my daughter. That's on them. But I swear to God, if I have to go to another Disney, I told her, we took the old kids to Disney. I took the young one like 1,000 times to Disney. Now it's all on her. They love their Disney experience. Let them have it. I am definitely ready to just walk. I just walk around Paris and have a good time, and talk to the Parisien. When ready with wealth charts, will you be having sessions? Yes, of course. So we will absolutely have the sessions with wealth charts. So again, sort of let me just put this in here. Let me put the Apex in here. Make sure you guys get the Apex numbers. And last kind of a survey for any suggestions that you may want to have for me for the indicator. I think I covered almost everything. Take a look at it. Look, it's not like you have a gun to your head. Tomorrow we're gonna trade again. Same time, same bat channel. Have a really good time. If I don't look like Tony Montana, like having sniffed about 10 lines of blow. Jesus, I mean, it's. I literally have never had such bad allergies as I have here. I think there's like a lot of pollen in Paris. They have a lot of trees here. Anyways, we can talk about this more tomorrow. Overnight, I'll try to fix these two things that you guys gave me an idea on, and we'll probably put that up there. Yes, the scalper will be available. I talked about this several times during the session. It will be available I'm giving you the end of the month, just to kind of manage your expectations. It'll probably be much earlier than that. But what we're trying to do is finalize the version in TradingView, so it's kind of sealed and frozen in time in terms of all the functionality and all the bugs and everything else. And then I'll give it to Rob, and we'll put it into wealth charts. Yes. So this new version, I think, is great, right? I mean, you really. You can't argue that this new version is not 10 times better than the other one in terms of giving you all the functionality and all the trades, right? Can you display more than one box and allow us to move them? I have 4 instances of indicator on one chart, but can you display one box? Sorry. When you're saying one box, can you display more than one strategy at a time? No. That will break the code. This is Pine script. It's not like multi-threaded stuff. So the suggestion for me, first of all, if you're looking like the best way, the single best way, guys, to not have to look at 1,000 different strategies is alert everything. You put all the strategies into your alert function, and then remember, you have 2 minutes from the time the alert is triggered to the time that it actually comes in. You can then go right into the alert window, find the signal and say, oh, I think this is good, and take it. That is the most time efficient way of doing it. And also, it doesn't clutter your charts. You just simply can look at one chart. Okay, let me remove this, go back here, and then go back here. Let's take a look at the charts one last time. Share this one instead. We hit the targets. I'm trying to see if there's anything else to see. Where's gold? Gold unwinding? What's gold doing? Let's see if we can make some some golden money. Excuse me. This would have been tempting. All right, we'll do one last thing on gold, just for shits and giggles. Wait. Oops. I better make sure I don't get crazy on gold here. It's 2. Let me see if I can sell it here. So where would what's a reasonable trade on gold? Up here to probably over here. It kind of like dropped down already. I was gonna try to take the last 10 points, try to bring myself to just $2 short of 800, but not bad. Come on, 800 for the day. Making nickels and dimes. Great job if you can make it. And these are all late trades, and I'm just kind of using it. But you see how cool it was. I was using the fact the slope was falling. That we're definitely made the highs over here in the 32s, red dots, all the things lining up to give me a very reasonable scalp trade. And I'll make it even easier tomorrow, hopefully by being able to re-enabling the dot scalps to show up. My best friend Claude and I have become very intimate because I've been like literally programming. The first night I was here, couldn't sleep. I decided, let me redo this. And of course that turned into like literally a 20-hour marathon of coding, but it's really worth it because now that the product is really, really good. Plus I was super happy the next day and I was in a good mood to go tour. Anyways, guys, this actually worked out better than I thought. Connection is okay. You guys see me okay. Trades are all good. The indicator is available to everybody. Let me do one last thing, which is put the join link over here into the indicator. Those of you guys on Twitter, get your ass over here to YouTube and just hit that join link. Once you hit that join link, you will have access to all this information. You won't have to wonder, where can I get this thing? How can I get access to it? How can I ask questions of Boris? All those things will be there. But in the meantime, I hope you guys really enjoyed my little spring vacation. Can I put the option to change the color of the candles? To what? No. Why? You mean up candle, down candle? Okay, yes, I can do that. What I can do, Dorian, is I can create a configuration setting with what I call up candle, what I will call an up candle within my definition, as green, down candle as red, but you can change it to to whatever color you want. Is that what you would like, Dorian? Let me know. But yes, that's relatively easy, and it will be able to do that like right over here in the coordination setting. So if we go into over here, you see how everything is nicely organized, and we can go into color settings for target and stop labels, background settings, sharing settings, table settings. By the way, the table can be moved around anywhere, but I guess where would I put the I guess we can put this over here. Color settings for target, stops, and stop labels, and candles. And then it'll be like buy candle color will be green, sell candle color will be red, and then you can change it around any way you like it. So that's pretty easy to do. Okay. Um, and then the erasing. Okay. All right, my friends. Sam says he has hope that Trump will pull it off. At this point, I think everybody's got to have hope because otherwise we're fucked beyond belief. Karen, signal candle is colored out. Let me show you. Let me show you on the chart. Oh, hang on a second. Shit. Hang on a second. It is colored out. So when you go to the signal, you see this, it's white. It's white. The signal candle is white. So that is a function of this thing. That's the signal candle. So it is colored out, and it even has like a little like a triangle or other little drop depending on whatever indicator it is. It's there. That has it. No, you can't. You can't trade forex with Apex Prop. Trade futures, my friend. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you. I appreciate it. So you want to do it the other? You want it the other way. You just want it recolored the other way. So everything is clear and target is red or green on the thing. That is also possible. I think I can do that. I can do that. So like you want all the other every other candle is white and it basically has. I wonder if your way is better visually. I'll try to do it your way. See how it looks. Maybe you're right. Maybe what we should do is because the whole idea is the dots themselves are the visual clues, right? They're the visual clues that we need. The candle itself doesn't need to be green or red because that is a right. No white, no color. How do you have no color? Can you do that with no color? I'll take a look at that version, Karen. I'll see how that looks. I may just simply just leave it as white. So because remember the whole idea is for all the scalp candles, you want to be able to know if it's a green dot candle or a red dot candle. So you want some outline of a candle so you have a good idea. Yeah, somebody says you could trade futures like this, but this bullshit. You really can't trade futures. I'm just I don't want to deceive you into thinking you could trade futures. Excuse me, you could trade forex. What alerts do you have set? I have, as I said, my preference is for trend. I use BFF trend. There's two trends. There's turn trend and BFF trend. So I do BFF trend, and this would be for gold, Nasdaq, and S&P. And for counter trend, I use turn counter trend because I find turn counter trend to be a really, really good counter trend signal, and BFF trend to be a little bit, especially in a strong trend, a really good trend signal. So I use those as my selection. GFUS says that if you can trade from Paris successfully, you try Costa Rica. It may be. I had one of my friends was in Costa Rica just the other. Oh, my son is in Costa Rica. I totally forgot. My son is in Costa Rica right now. Yeah. If you're already in one trade and get a trade in a signal in the opposite direction, what do you do? The proper answer to that is to have two accounts, Rick. That's why you have two accounts. It does happen. It happened to me in the overnight trade. If you have only one account, you eat the trade, whichever trade you eat. But a good thing to do is to kind of have two accounts so that one of them hopefully works And it's just generally good to have a couple of accounts. But that would be my response. By coloring the candles, you mask the bullish engulfing candles that some of us. Yeah, I do. So I mean, let's actually sort of poll everybody right now. All the red, all the green, all the bullish candles and are green. All the bearish candles are red, with the signal being white. Would everybody prefer just to keep all the other candles to be white, with the signal to be green or red, depending, obviously if it's a buy signal or a sell signal? We can flip this around on the chart and change the logic a little bit, which is not hard. People saying no. People saying no. All right. I'm going to leave it as is. I'll see if I could just, if I can have an option that turns it on, turns it off. Obviously, everybody wants optionality. There is a trade-off between having a lot of customization and having this thing work well. So you have to appreciate that. And so, I'm working with that. Dark red and dark green will not stand out. Will not be sharp enough. You really need like the white against it, or you need the other way around. It's got to be sharp contrast. Great gradients don't work. Not visually. Okay, I'll take that under advisement. But other stuff like getting rid of labels, and then of course making the scalp stuff work. That's all very much going to be in the workflow. All right, one last gold trade. If this red dot holds. Oh, yet another. See, there's a lot more sirens in Paris than there is in New York. I'm telling you. Holy shit. Sell. Where am I? So we'll stay above here. We'll go maybe over here. We'll see what we can do. We're at, what time is it now in New York? It's 10:46. It's not even 11 yet. All right. Let's see if gold comes down a little bit. I'm not watching the screen. I'm sorry, guys. I really want to take that 800, but I wasn't watching the screen. All right, I'm gonna go. I gotta run. We'll see if this trade works or not. I will see you guys tomorrow with some of the more improvements. We'll talk a little bit more about the indicator. But hopefully, you guys really enjoy this version and really have fun with it. I'll see everybody a little bit later. Thank you. Everybody enjoy. Bye-bye.